Hi, it's Bridget Ferri-O'Connell once again for yet another oral presentation. This one is about understanding conflict. Yay! Okay, so to introduce this subject, I actually chose my twin sister Brandy as my partner, and instead of actually dealing with some real conflicts we may have, I went ahead and chose a scenario that was listed in the book. So we role-played the two roommates disagreeing on the cleanliness of their apartment, which works because we do live together, and I am much cleaner than she is. So let's just begin. Let's dive right into this. So to roleplay, we did obviously the 4 different kinds of conflict resolutions. And the first one was the non-intimate aggressive, where you're not really close and you're very aggressive about the situation. When we roleplayed it, we realized we got really sarcastic and really mean. For instance, I was like, would you maybe want to vacuum? She's like, sure, I would love to vacuum. And my twin has cerebral palsy, and I was like, oh yeah? Yeah, you would? Do you want the stand-up vacuum? So it got mean. There definitely was no solution that was going to come from it, and it was just going to get meaner. So we stopped that one pretty much after that. And then we moved on to the next one, the non-intimate, non-aggressive one, where, again, roommates sometimes just are not intimate people. That's totally fine. But it's also a non-aggressive approach. So, for instance, I asked, hey, the apartment's getting kind of messy. Maybe we can work on getting it cleaner. With her response was, well, yeah, I've noticed that too, but I'm never really around. So it was a lot of that kind of conflict resolution was no one taking the blame, therefore no one had to find the solution. And I feel like when that happens, the person who's more, not weaker personality per se, but the one who's just like, whatever, I'm good, I'll deal with it, is going to be the one who's going to clean the mess, and then there's going to be some resentments that happen later on, and then it can definitely become the non-intimate aggressive situation. Maybe punches thrown, I don't know. And then for intimate aggressive, oh wow, this one definitely plays into who we are. I mean, we have an intimate relationship as twins, and her identical twins, and her just being a minute older. Growing up together and just so much we have in common, very intimate, and we are aggressive. This is actually our way that we resolve conflicts. And it has happened before. I'm like, your room is a mess, and it's just spilling out into the house, and I'm having people over, and we just can't have this. So I need you to clean this up now. And then, she may throw some argument my way, but at the end of the day, it gets resolved. We may not be nice to each other, we may get a little pissed off at each other, but the room gets clean, the house is clean, and guess what? When you're intimate and you're twins, about 5 minutes later, it's like, fine, and it's done, and you move forward. So for us, our conflict resolution is definitely more of the intimate aggressive. With the intimate non-aggressive, I can see that being probably a nicer approach to conflict resolution, where it's addressing a problem together, coming up with a solution together, and cooperating together to make the apartment cleaner. And so in intimate relationships, and especially concerning intimate relationship with my twin, I can definitely see how it would be more beneficial for me to use more non-aggressive tactics with her, just because then no one gets heated, no one gets annoyed, and it's not 5 minutes later you had to forget anything ever happened and just be twins. It's 5 minutes later you're just twins, solution, done. I also think with conflict resolution that it also depends on the situation. In a professional situation, I'm not sure if I would use any of these kind of conflict resolutions per se. The other part of that too, though, is if it's a professional situation and I need to be communicative of the issue, I make sure to say a lot of I statements and try to listen with open ears and an open mind to what's being said back at me, and try to take that in and see what maybe I could do as well in the situation. If conflict resolution just isn't a possibility, then I will also avoid confrontation because my natural style is aggressive, and that can lead to some bad results. So I tend to avoid confrontation, and if the conflict resolution isn't working, I will bring an outside source in who can handle the situation in a much better, more professional way. And then that way it's out of my hands and I've done what I can do, and it's not to be rude, it's just to get us to a better situation. So yeah, I believe that sums it up for me. I'm an aggressive person. I'm also very honest and very blunt. And those are things that I definitely understand I can work on. And I think if you can be more cooperative in a conflict resolution where you both come up with ideas of how you can make the situation better, or how you can resolve the conflict together and be cooperative and maybe lay down some boundaries and ground rules for future conflicts that could be of similar nature, then I think you're good to go. But nonetheless, as I'm getting older, I am definitely learning more about communication and how important it is, and also when and where it is appropriate to use certain conflict resolution tactics, and when there are times that third parties need to be involved. Alright, thank you. I hope you all have a good night.